All right, welcome back. Now, I'm going to assume that most of you know that these stories of divestors, swirlers, these stories of them being found unalived, disappearing, or maybe finding parts of their body here and there. Those stories and the videos available that covers those stories right now has to be in the thousands. At the very least, the high hundreds. But I'm thinking they have to be in the thousands at this point. Of these women being unalived by Brads. Most of you familiar with this channel. I think it's ridiculous that it has 726 videos over the course of 6 years. Isn't 6 years long enough to learn your lesson? This is a lot of videos. And this story right here was kind of crazy. I had not known about this story. Let's listen.
More than 600,000 people go missing every year, according to the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System. And February 3rd recognizes National Missing Persons Day.
Okay, yeah, blah, blah. Let me ask, before we get started, let me ask you. Do the stories of black men unaliving Becky's match the stories of Brad's unaliving Keisha's? I tried to look. I did a search. I did a few searches. I couldn't find much. You could probably count them on one hand. But when it comes to these Keishas getting unalived, hundreds to thousands of stories.
In the morning, November 4th, 1991. 23-year-old Lisa Jamison had just wrapped up an overnight shift at the electronics business she worked at. That Monday, Lisa wore a pink shirt, blue jeans, and white shoes. She had on a silver rope necklace and silver herringbone necklace. She dropped off a co-worker near McQueen Road and Chandler Boulevard around 7:15 a.m. That's the last time Lisa would ever be seen or heard from again, leaving behind a 2-year-old son, now a man searching for answers.
For me, with her, it's more of a feeling that I remember.
The memories come in waves for Kyle Collins. The sound of his mom's laughter, the energy she brought into a room. Kyle is now 32, a successful recording artist, songwriter, and producer, but he says his childhood was not easy, not knowing what happened to his mom.
When I was growing up, I was actually ashamed of what had happened because I felt so different.
In 1991, Kyle lived in Gilbert with Lisa and his stepdad. The day his mom didn't return home, she was reported missing to police. But Kyle says she had one last dinner with her parents before going to that overnight shift and revealed important news.
She had just told my grandmother that she was pregnant and that she was actually scared to tell my stepfather at the time.
Police say Lisa left all her personal things at home and no money was taken out of her bank account.
Okay, we gotta stop. Her husband was a Brad. You just heard her son say that his mom was scared to tell her husband that she was pregnant. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? He did not want no mixed babies. And she knew it. What does it sound like to me? He did not want one, and she knew it. Sound like this was a racist Brad that she chose to stay with.
And no money was taken out of her bank account. Family members could not believe she would leave town on her own accord.
That was the main argument from the Gilbert police, was that she could have just left, she could have just ran away. And my family begged and pleaded that she would never do that, she wouldn't leave me behind, it's not in her character at all. And we just know that that's not what happened.
Then, a discovery made in Phoenix. On December 3rd, 1991, about a month after Jamison's disappearance, her car was found, a red 1989 Pontiac Le Mans, in the parking lot of this adult bookstore at 40th Place and East Washington Street. Gilbert police say no evidence was found in her car. Initially, detectives did question Lisa's then husband as a person of interest. Nothing came out of it, and Kyle says his stepdad moved to Bolivia. Kyle's grandparents adopted him, and their family has been left with a mystery ever since.
Huh? He bounced to Bolivia. After, now remember, she was pregnant. And she was scared to tell her husband that she was pregnant. So her husband wasn't in Bolivia at that time. He bounced after she disappeared. He bounced after she did to Bolivia.
I am 100% positive that it's foul play. I don't have a question in my mind, and I believe to know who it is as well.
Gilbert PD has not publicly said foul play is involved in Lisa's disappearance. Kyle says she didn't have enemies.
No beef with anyone, sweetest woman, like child of the family.
Looking back, he wishes investigators did more within the first 48 hours and believes the case did not get enough media attention.
There definitely was a lack of coverage. There was a lack of...
This was from like 1990. This was from the 90s. Right? This happened a long time ago. 1991. So, they've been getting unalived at a high rate for a long time by these Brads. This really ain't nothing new. Don't you think they're all aware of this? Or do you think they still slow? You know, if they were normal people, a normal group of women, wouldn't they have all kinds of groups? Black women against divesting. Black women against swirling. Why? Look at all these stories. You get no other demographic is unaliving another demographic that they're in romantic relationships with. We ain't unaliving Becky like this. In fact, you got a bunch of stories of Becky unaliving us. Do a search. I've done that. I've done the searches. Oh, there's a few stories like that up. I did a search, and I searched for white women killed by black men, or black men kill white women. I did both of them. They're like 3 different ones. And stories of black men getting unalived by Becky's kept popping up. Near the top of the results. And I'm like, what? But these stories like this, Lord, they would have all kind of Facebook groups. They'd have awareness campaigns. They would have all kinds of stuff if they wasn't worshipers of Brad, if they wasn't Brad worshipers. But they're Brad worshipers. They're going to keep their mouths shut about this forever. No matter how much worse it gets. It seems like it's getting worse. It's definitely getting worse. This was before the swirl movement. And it seemed like she was functioning just like they do in this modern swirl movement, divestment movement.
Just overall publicizing what had happened.
How do you think missing people of color are treated, specifically black people, by law enforcement and mainstream media?
I believe that now things have gotten increasingly better and will continue to get increasingly better, but it still needs to be better. You know, the fact that it needs to be better.
It's not getting better, it's getting worse. You got hundreds, maybe even thousands of recent cases. Recent cases, man.
It says enough. And I think that in 1991, it was thousands of times worse.
What in the world is he talking about? Didn't they recently have this missing black girls movement, right? Because there was so many missing black girls. Didn't they just have that recently? I don't remember nothing like that popping off in 1990. Why was I alive in 1991? I was a teenager in 1991. What are you talking about? I don't know what he's talking about, huh?
In years, the Black and Missing Foundation has worked hard to advocate for families of color trying to find their missing loved ones, to bring awareness to cases like Lisa's, rarely seen on national TV.
No one, not one person, can name one male, female, or child in the Black and brown community that has garnered mainstream media. Not one, because it doesn't exist. And so what we're trying...
What is she talking about? Black and brown. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about now. But it is said that this woman abandoned her son. This dude moved to Bolivia and got him a white woman. Got him a white woman and had white kids. Had a family with her in Bolivia. Then he moved his family back to the United States. Remember, the cops had already questioned him and considered him as a possible suspect, but they said it led to nothing. Really? After she go missing, he bounced to Bolivia. That ain't suspicious. She was scared to tell him that she was pregnant. Sounds like he made sure to make her disappear and to bounce. Sounds like he did not want no mixed kids. You understand? Did not want no mixed kids. You know, a lot of brads look at that as like shameful, embarrassing in their white circles. You know, you with your white friends and your black baby mama comes through unannounced, but your mixed kids beat her and in comes your mixed kids. Walking through a circle of all white people. Most brads look at they don't want to go through that. They just don't want to go through that experience. They know that there's going to be somebody in their circle that's going to object to it. A family member or friend. Why in the world would she be scared? They were supposedly married. You heard him call this Brad his stepdad. So they were shacked up together. She go missing. Wait. No, she get pregnant. She's scared to tell him. She goes off with him. She goes missing. And then he go missing. Bounce to Bolivia. Has a white family, then comes back to the United States. Okay. Crazy. And it's just too many of these. These Keishas, they are aware of this. They're aware of this. Let's not play dumb. Let's not pretend like them getting unalived is some type of new phenomenon. It's not. They are on these apps, TikTok and all these apps. They've seen these videos. They've seen how many videos there are. Why ain't they shocked about it? Look at how much they're like zombies, dude. You think about it, they're like zombies, like plumb out of their mind, these Keishas. Why aren't they shocked at the number of available stories there are like this of them getting unalived by these brads? It is shocking. I don't know about nobody. I ain't speaking for nobody else. I'm shocked by the number of stories that are available. It's a never-ending number of stories that are available. Many of them recent. And then you listen to these Keishas who are these divestors who be shacked up with them, get unalived by them. And many of them, maybe even most of them, are overtly hateful towards black men. Some of them go back to dating black men. This is dangerous. They're not shocked. Don't nothing move them. The more stories like this to come out, the harder they divest. The harder they swirl. And it's just crazy. Now, along with all of these videos of them getting unalived, there's many more videos of them doing these interracial TikTok dances and this goofy stuff like this where they're celebrating and showcasing their little swirling relationship. Seems to be more content like that than ever before. You can't count. And they're getting unalived like this over in Africa too. Everywhere. Just getting clapped. Left and right, just getting clapped. And it don't make a dent in their psyche. They are zombies, man. They're plumb out of their minds. They have no detection of threats. Like, think about this. Let me put something into your head real quick. Many of these Keishas have nothing in common with Brads. Many of them are hood. Straight up and down hood. They ain't been with nothing but pookies. Ain't dealt with nothing but pookies. And then one day they get on the app and they go and just will travel hundreds of miles to be with somebody you know full well there's a cultural difference that you're not, experienced in. Just no care about cultural difference at all. Really? They can't be this dumb. I have had the internet now for, I think, over 2 decades. Yeah, over 2 decades. I have done more searches than I can remember. Why haven't they? I just find it hard to believe that as you're doing divester searches, that these stories don't pop up. Because they always be hashtagged in these videos. You do a swirl. If you notice, many of my videos, I only put divester and swirler hashtags in there. And a bunch of divestors and swirlers pop up in the comment section. They see these videos. They ignore them. They think to themselves, oh, that won't happen to me. Ignoring the volume. Ignoring the volume. If there's this many stories like this that have gone public, imagine the true number of Brads who are, just as unstable and willing to, either bop you across the head or unalive you. Zombies. They just zombies out here, man. That's a level of Brad worship that I really can't wrap my head around. They're really willing to die for these dudes. And it makes sense, don't it? If These dudes be like in their 50s, be partially sunburnt, have all kind of problems physically, be old and sloppy, be all nasty looking, and they think they struck gold. It makes sense for a twisted, delusional mentality, a mind like that, to be moving the way that they move. To look at a gazillion stories of them getting unalived and just keep going about their business. Just brainless, man. Brainless. I know a lot of people think, oh, you just, calling them bad names by calling them brainless, goofy. No, man. I don't do that. I don't get into this is what I'm seeing. This is brainlessness. This is a true addiction. This is a true addiction. Where they know that it's dangerous, but they want it so bad. Whether it be a mixed baby or the clout or the social media clout. What in the world, man? No. And then if you pay attention, many of these videos, many of these quiches, divesting quiches and swirling quiches, many of them are very, very ghetto. They're very ghetto. And you can tell that they just been messing with gangsters and hood dudes their whole life. And then, maybe later went into divesting. So you can't trust any of them. The chicks higher than the hood chicks are swirling and divesting. You can't trust none of them. Like, there is no other group of women that is, more unworthy to be trusted. Like, wow. Their demise is fascinating to me. It's fascinating. I never thought growing up that later in life I would be watching the demise of black women. It just never crossed my head. It never crossed my mind. I was a regular dude just like everybody else. I grew up around mostly black people. Right? I mean, and this is just crazy to me. It's like the Twilight Zone. I wasn't aware that they were actually in a mental and physical state right for extinction via your own men and no other men not wanting you. And those who do get with you, look at what happens. You be with Pookies and Ray Rays, sometimes be getting your hair blown off. They into all kinds of wild stuff. If not that, you get with these crazy psychopathic white supremacist brads who, many of them just want to date you to unalive you. Right? Low marriage rates, but the majority of them have kids. So they're primarily what? Sleeping around. Sleeping around. With low marriage rates, you ripe for extinction. I mean, just with no men wanting you. That would be bad enough. It might happen faster. They probably, it's over 1 million of them got biracial babies. Yeah, it's a wrap, man. It's a wrap. I can't see there being a significant number of productive black men. Look at the high number of Pookies that end up dead or in jail. That's not a reliable demographic to maintain a race. Those are the main black people who copulate right now. The ones in the hoods and ghettos. Those are the main ones reproducing right now. The hood folk. Do you think that the way that they move, low marriage rates, multiple kids by different daddies, drug dealing, gang banging, you ain't gonna sustain no group like that. And the productive men are like, they're bouncing. I don't care about no 80% of black men who make over $100,000 are with black women. 80% is rather low compared to the like 92 some percent of black women married to black men. And a few decades ago, it was higher than that. Productive black men still married black women at a higher rate than they do today. There ain't that many of us who make over $100,000. So man, please, it's a wrap, man. It's a wrap. And black men have no choice but to avoid them. It's too dangerous getting with them. If you don't get popped by one of they pookie cousins, if you don't get sprayed with an F and N by they pookie brother or something like that, right? It's too dangerous. Think about the STDs statistics. They say they represent, what is it, like 50%? It's something ridiculous when it comes to STDs. And that includes the big one now, the big bad one. They're said to lead in these statistics. Listen, man, I don't want to hear none of this. Black woman is my queen, and oh, I'll always love black women. Dude, if you're not being real, you're going to kill yourself. Go ahead and dive in that pool of Keisha's if you want to. You be by yourself. I'm not joining you. That's too dangerous. The number of things that are seriously problematic is too plentiful. Lord, the brad worship, the wigs and weaves, the goofy eyebrows and eyelashes, everything being fake, on top of the attitude, the disrespect, the hate, the sheer pure hate. Lord, and now we got to worry about whether or not you used to be a diehard black man hater like a KK Keisha. Because many of them do that. They go from being one of them and switch up and be pro-black. Man, there's a lot of them that do that. Oh, I'm pro-black now. I've gotten over my Brad phase. You find some, I realized that we just not made for Brads. We just don't click. No. I don't think so. All it takes is the right Brad to come sweep you off your feet again. I'm not trying to hear that. Especially if you got more money. They're going to be out of here. All that pro-black talk going to be out the window. You can't trust none of them, man. You can't. Like, where are they getting all these diseases from? What in the world? Now, we remember how they flocked over to Europe most of them went to Greece. Well, I know a lot of them went to Greece and like France and stuff like that, when those flights was real cheap. They love going to Europe. And you know what they was doing over there. Look at how much they love prisoners. The right prisoner's mugshot come out, it's going to go viral. Think about that. There's going to be a viral number of comments with heart eye emojis. And they're not going to be from men. It's going to be a viral number of that. And they're going to be Keisha's. I'm talking about a black man prisoner. And they know you're a prisoner. The comment sections are plentiful. That's ridiculous. And what's even crazier, you don't see no counter arguments. You don't see nobody objecting to this admiration of prisoners. You don't see no counter arguments. You don't see nobody with objective viewpoints. No Keishas with objective viewpoints in these comment sections. You don't see it. They all be on board. They either go with the flow or don't say nothing. Turn a blind eye, basically. Turn a blind eye to it. What that remind you of? What that remind you of? Right. Right. Think history. What does that remind you of? They're either on board with it or they turn a blind eye to it. Why? Because they benefit from it. They're like this is like suicide. They're committing like genetic suicide. That's really what they're doing. That's really, and look at how, again, look at how they destroy their kids' self-esteem with their self-hatred and insecurity. You can't just have that going on and on for generation after generation. You can't do that. Something as simple to fix as that, your over-the-top worship and admiration for other people's appearance, that you should be able to get over that in one generation. But of course, that's not going to happen with them. You know, that low self-esteem, that leads to all kind of other terrible behaviors. You're dysfunctional. If you got low self-esteem, you're dysfunctional. And you are a person who needs help. You're going to be dysfunctional in many parts of your life. Like, how many things is it? They're like self-delete. They deleting themselves off the planet. Off the planet, man. This is just fascinating to watch. It's like, wow. Like, wow, what an era to live in, man. To see any group of women doing this. Can you imagine? Could you imagine 85% of Becky's with, black people hair glued onto their scalp and, getting unalived by Tyrone nonstop. And they moving like these Keishas? Lord. High STD rates, hateful and loud and violent, having these crazy, violent, demonic outbursts. Man, this is a scary group of women, man. This is like something out of a horror movie. Like, I remember when I was a child, dude, I used to see the older Keishas have temper tantrums. Those were the worst temper. The men have always been the calm, cool, and collected people in my family. Always. When there was a fight in the family, it was always the women. and it would be always broken up by the men. Violent, angry, hateful outbursts. Some of them will grab deadly objects. If you FBA, I can only speak for FBA. You know what I'm talking about. Don't play dumb. Don't play dumb just because that was your grandma, just because that was your great aunt who used to have these scary, like demonic, violent outbursts. And in a heartbeat, pick up an iron and bop you across the head. Pick up a hammer and bop you across the head. My grandmother beat her daughter with a hammer, dude, with all kind of crazy objects. And it more than once. And I remember my grandparents told me that they used to get whooped until they were bleeding. They would quite oftentimes draw blood and end up bleeding. Right, them plantation whoopings. They still got that demon in them from the plantation. You bug out, you tweak out. They start tweaking, man. And when they start tweaking like that, you know they're invoking demons when they do that. And they always do that. It's very few of them that just start putting in action without talking. You know, just go straight to putting in action. No, they got to get loud. They got to get evil and angry and on my dead, on your dead. And they're conjuring up them demons, and then they're liable to kill you. Do y'all remember that lady just shot her son in the chest and unalived him? That was recent. It's something, man. They got something bad inside of them, man. Y'all better, let me tell you, Keisha, something, man. Let me tell y'all something. I'll tell you what you need to do. Y'all better make y'all some little groups out in the wilderness, just like these white folks did out there in Idaho, wherever they went, and got their own little communities popping. Y'all better go out there and build a fire. Read some hoodoo manuscripts and try to exorcise them demons out of you. That's really the best advice I can give you, man, at this point. Y'all got demons swirling around in you, man. Think about it. The most righteous and respectful, upright things that are said by black Americans is being said by black men. We're not getting into all this hateful bullet bag, celebrating Keisha's deaths. We still don't do that. It's their culture to celebrate when we die. And you don't, and notice when they do that, look at the comment section. Like I said before, you don't see any of them objecting to it. They get into some demonic straight, he's worm food and all this stuff. Right, didn't the Queen Keisha, Cynthia G say that? He's worm food. She said all kind of evil stuff. That don't surprise. That ain't new to me. That level of vile, evil, disrespectful, hateful talk is not new to me. This has been how they have been for as long as I can remember, man. If I'm being honest and not lying, I gotta say that. Because I've been seeing it all my life. They bug up, man. It's like you see the demon. It's like, okay, you tweaking out and you liable to kill me right now. That's a big reason why a lot of those black men back in the day used to put hands on them. They wouldn't just initiate and just get up. Oh, you messed up my sandwich. Have a jump up, haul off, bop him across the head. That's not what those black men were doing. Many of those black men were protecting themselves from an attack, from a physical attack. And then, of course, you get Keisha's side of it. He was abusive. He put his hands on me. Stop it. I know more Keishas than I can name right now, where I've seen this type of craziness from, where it's just a total disregard for their own life. Look at these videos of them getting arrested. That's the same craziness I'm talking about. And that's that, man. That's that demon, man. Y'all got some poof, man, please. I'm lucky to be here. I'm lucky to be here right now. With as many Keishas as I've been with in my early years. Like, I started getting it popping kind of early. I was 15, close to 16. I started getting it popping with these Keishas. And I just saw them as an experience. Right? I was frustrated even at 15. Like, man, I need to nail something. Even when, man, I remember being in elementary school, like 4th and 5th grade. I'm telling you, man, some stuff like this just burn in your memory. I remember around 4th or 5th grade. Man, I was born in 1977. Take your guess on when that was. It's like the late 80s. I remember, was it even then? It wasn't even the late 80s. Yeah, it was the late 80s, mid to late 80s. I remember during recess, all the black boys, and this was like a all black school in Lima, Ohio, named Jefferson and Whitaker Elementary School. Anybody from Lima, my age, know exactly what I'm talking about. This is little black schools. During recess, we would dry hump the Keishas. We just find the Keishas. We chase them. Just young and bad and crazy. Chase them and dry hump them. I've been messing around with these Keishas my whole life. I know them very well. And there's always been that craziness, man. They'll haul off and throw something at you, try to stab you, try to knock your brains out. I'm telling you, man, and they know it. They know it. And black men don't be tweaking out like that. These Keishas need to face that demon inside of them, man. Y'all crazy and y'all know it. Y'all know it. Y'all know y'all crazy, man. Stop trying to act like normal women, like ain't nothing wrong with you. You're crazy. You're crazy, man. So kill all of this criticism of black men like myself who speak on subjects like this. Kill that noise, man. The evidence is like, I'm drowning in it at this point. We all are. Want to hear that nonsense? Just crazy, man. And some of the worst, like most insecure things I remember in life, it came from them. Oh, self-hating stuff. Like, ugh. No. You can tell that there's been a disconnect of fathers from the families. You can tell this is the result of it over several decades and generations, where the women made a culture of leaving their kids' fathers and raising kids without their fathers. Crazy stuff. Salute everybody in the building. See y'all on the next live.